So how did you first get involved in acting?
Well, I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I just loved Shirley Temple. I remember watching Shirley Temple all the time, and I remember at one point saying to my mom, like, I could do that. I think I could do what she does. And my mom, picked up on that, and she helped find me an agent. And I think I was, 5 when I got my first agent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I had like just turned 6 when I booked my first commercial, and it was a Crayola commercial.
Oh.
And I actually did that commercial with like a few people who went on to continue acting.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there's a lot of people in it, but I'm trying to remember. I know Miko Hughes was in it. He was in like Pet Cemetery and a lot of other movies.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Rising, and then another girl who I went on to work with on Recess, on Disney's Recess.
Yeah, I remember that show.
Yeah, I'm totally forgetting names though, but yeah, so I worked with a lot of people that I ended up working with or seeing a lot again throughout my life as a kid actor.
Wow, yeah, you're doing pretty good. I was about 17 when I got my first agent, so
Oh,
that's
really?
pretty, yeah.
Cool.
Um, how did you first acquire the role of Ducky? Was it an easy snag, or did you have difficulty getting the part, or was it a straightforward process?
Well, I had a really great voiceover agent at the time, and my mom had actually heard about the project. She heard from a friend of ours that they were auditioning people. A friend of mine had auditioned for Sarah,
Mm-hmm.
ended up getting it, but we heard about it through her, and my mom said, this sounds like something Aria might be perfect for. So she asked my agent to get me in. And they had already gone through a few rounds of auditions, I think, at that point,
Yeah.
the characters. But my agent was like, she really believed in me, and she actually told them that she staked her reputation on me being a really good for the role. And so they brought me in, and I had to go in for a callback, and it was kind of funny because I remember them, like, there was a little bit of hesitation because they thought I might sound a little bit too much like Shirley Temple. I was 7 or 8 at the time.
Yeah.
And, I obviously, the rest of the story ended up getting it. So it wasn't too difficult of a job to get. It's just a matter of getting me in there. And I had a really great team helping me on that front. So.
You still sound like her, you know?
Really?
Because I grew up with watching those movies, and I used to watch them all the time as a kid, and I can hear Ducky in there. So,
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, when I was a kid, Ducky was pretty much just my voice, and it hasn't changed too much. So,
Yeah.
I guess that I have I put a little extra
Hmm.
character into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see why it's still there.
Yeah.
I can hear it.
When you were Ducky, were you already a fan of the original Land Before Time, and did you have any knowledge of Judith Barsi's tragic story about what happened to her and everything? I didn't find out about the original voice actress until I was much older.
Honestly, I was so young, and I hadn't seen Land Before Time. I watched it before I auditioned because I knew that I was replacing a character. But there was actually another actress after Judith who did the numbers 2 through 4.
Yeah, I forgot what her name was.
Heather Hogan.
Yeah, Heather Hogan.
Yeah, and so I watched the first one. I think I watched like one of the other ones, the second or the third one as well. And I didn't know about Judith's passing until I was in the middle of the recording session, and somebody had mentioned it to my mom.
Hmm.
And it was, it was so sad. Even as a little kid, I just.
Yeah, it's very, very sad.
Yeah,
It makes watching the films harder, for me.
Yeah, I can imagine. She was in something else as well. I forget. There was like 2 things that she was known for.
She did a movie called All Dogs Go to Heaven also, and
Right.
that was about the
And
same
it's
people.
really interesting because I also was in an All Dogs. I was in one of the sequels of All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Oh, really?
Special.
You were? Were you in the Christmas special? Was there a Christmas
Yeah.
special? Yeah, it's been a long time. But
I know.
um,
Oh.
yeah. Do you have a favorite song from any of the films you performed in? My personal favorite is Always There, and I can't even listen to it anymore unless I'm like okay with becoming a blabbering idiot. I think the whole story about Judith Barsi and just the whole story
Yeah.
behind that makes me even sadder when I listen to it. So
I know. Always There. Was that in the original? Because I know I sang Always There. I mean, it was like in number 5
It was number 5.
and Littlefoot and okay. I didn't know if that was like if they had brought it back and they'd sung it before, but no, it was. I love that song. I also honestly all the songs in number 5. That was my first one, so maybe it's why they stuck with me. But Friends for Dinner, I love that one. It was just so fun.
Yeah.
Always There, definitely. And the Mad song, I forget what it's called.
When You're Mad, isn't that one that Sarah sings or something?
Yeah, you get my mama mad. That one. I was just trying to teach Ducky how to be mad. Like
Oh yeah.
it was really fun.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was funny. I
Dinosaurs.
remember that.
Along Dinosaurs, we got to kind of put on a little twang. We got to have a little accent when we're singing that. And this kind of country song, but I like that one too. And for the new one that's gonna come out, there's some pretty good songs on that one too.
There's
But
a new one?
obviously, yeah. Oh,
A,
I don't know if I should say anything about that.
a new Land Before Time? Oh, I was gonna actually ask you a question about that later. I'll get to that question in a second. Was there a specific?
Anything or without that thing that, or so it doesn't give away the whatever question you're gonna ask, or is that okay?
Uh, yeah, that's totally fine. I mean, yeah, that'll be fine. I mean, I'll be. I didn't even actually understand your question. What'd you ask?
Oh, I said, do you want me to repeat what I said without like saying anything about the new one, or is it okay how it came out?
It's okay how you came out. I
Oh,
mean, as long as the production company is like, I just don't want to make anyone mad by what information you give away. So whatever you can't say about anything new. Um,
yeah, I probably actually shouldn't say anything about the new one.
yeah, I was like,
Right?
damn, I want to audition. I wanted to audition for one, but
Oh, really? Well, they might be making more. I mean, you never know.
yeah,
But yeah, maybe I'll just. I don't even know when I brought up the new one, but
I'll actually ask you about that at the end because now I'm kind of curious. But for the podcast, people are probably gonna be interested. Was there a specific Land Before Time you thought that you performed exceptionally well in? One that is your favorite performance? One that you disliked more than others? As an actor, I know that we can be very critical of our work.
yeah. One that I liked more than others, or
Yeah,
one that I disliked, or one that I liked.
like I know when certain actors rewatch performances, they're thinking like, "Oh, I should have said it that way, or I should have done it that way, or I actually did really good that time. Like I did better than I thought I would." Was there like a
Uh,
favorite film that you thought you did better, and you liked yourself better in than others in Land Before Time, or was there like one that you didn't think you didn't like as much for
hmm.
Land Before Time?
I'm trying to think. Let me see. I mean, I think in general, I'm pretty happy with how it came out. That they're such a good team and good directors, and they really brought out the best in everybody. I think for the most part, of course, I could look at anything that I've done and think, oh, maybe I should have done it differently, or maybe I could have done that. But if they're happy, then I think that I'm happy as well. I do remember the time that I had to get the episode or the movie where Spike decides to leave the Ducky to go with his own kind.
Oh yeah, that was
I don't.
I forget which one that was.
I think it was number 8. It was like the big freeze, or I think it was that one.
Oh yeah, yeah. Is that one?
Yeah, I thought that kind of called for Ducky because she was a little bit more of a lead, character, or she was a little. Her storyline was a little bit bigger, in that one.
Mm.
So I think that called for me to bring it to bring it up, out a little bit more with the acting, and I had to get emotional and all that stuff. So I was pretty proud of how I did in that one. But overall, I'm happy with all of them.
Yeah, they're all really fun to watch growing up. They kind of made me want to be a voice actor when I was younger. Um, would
Well,
and I was gonna ask you, would you ever be open to reprising your role as Ducky if the opportunity came up, be it an official film or even a fan-made film?
oh yeah, as long as I still have this voice, I would love to play Ducky. I would love to play her into my 80s. I don't care. I would be glad to do another film anytime.
Like, would you do it officially, or would you ever do like, say, someone wanted to make a fan film that was unofficial? I know lots of there's been actors who have done that before and
Oh, really?
have done fan films. Like the voice of Sonic did a fan film. I saw it on YouTube, so I know lots of actors have done that. So
Well, as long as as long as it wasn't, what are we saying? Hold on. um, as long as I didn't get in trouble for that, then I would have no problem doing
yeah, yeah,
a fan film. I mean, I love working with people and helping them, bring their visions to life and all of that.
yeah. I've always thought of doing an animated fan film for the web where like they're all grown up, where all the dinosaurs are grown up.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I could just kind of really have my regular voice.
Yeah, I was thinking doing that sometime, whenever I have like a good animation team together, but busy working on
Really?
other projects. Yeah, I've thought about it before, yeah.
Oh,
I'm pretty creative like that, I guess.
yeah. I'm not sure what the rules are on that kind of thing, but if you made it, if you had all the paperwork and you made it legal or something, I'd be happy to do it.
Especially like to get the original voice actors. I mean, not the original, but the current voice actress of Ducky, who, that would be like pretty awesome too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So are you working on any current acting projects at this time?
Current acting projects. Um,
Film
I
projects,
don't
I
want
mean?
to, not film right now. I've been doing a lot of theater. I did a musical called Company earlier this year, which is a Stephen Sondheim uh,
Mhm.
play or musical. And I have just been auditioning, and hopefully something will come along right now. I'm actually. Oh, wait. I forgot almost. My boyfriend has a production company. It's
Mhm.
called ZFO. It's a sci-fi production company, and they just produced and filmed their first short film.
Mhm.
It's called Vultures, and I assisted on that. But the next project that they're working on, I'm going to be in. Um,
Really?
and yeah, and that's going to be like a fun little short film. And I think I have another thing after that that they're going to put me in as well. And I'm really excited to say they have a lot of really great people on their team, and that they're working with a lot of great actors. So you can definitely give them a plug because they're going to have a lot of stuff coming out that I definitely will be involved in. I'm really excited about that.
That's really cool, yeah. Um, yeah, no, any projects that you're in, that's I'd love to see them. Um,
Yeah. My boyfriend was in Halloween Town. I don't know if you ever saw that. And
that's on the Disney Channel, right? Yeah, I saw that.
on Disney Channel, yeah. And then his co-producer, is Bradley Pierce. He was in Jumanji. He was a little
Oh,
kid.
yeah, no, that's sad too. How Robin Williams recently passed. Like, you heard. I'm sure. Did that affect you when you heard about Robin Williams?
Oh, absolutely. I felt sad for days. I mean, he's just one of those people that.
I felt like I lost a family member, because that was our family actor. Like, we would just be watching him as a family, like every night, almost all the time.
I watched Mrs. Doubtfire probably 50 times throughout my childhood. I loved a lot of his films, but that was just one of those that you could always watch and always have a good time watching.
Yeah. Um. Well. I I used to watch that all the time. I also used to watch Jumanji. Back to Jumanji. What were you saying about your boyfriend?
Oh, his co-producer is Bradley Pierce, who was in Jumanji. He was the kid, the little boy in Jumanji.
Yeah, yeah. I know who you're talking about. Was your boyfriend was in Jumanji, or is he just a producer?
No, no, my boyfriend is J. Paul Zimmerman. He was in Halloween Town, and then his producer, co-producer, was in Jumanji.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I was just curious if your boyfriend was like somebody I might have heard of from a film. I'll have to.
Yeah, he was Dylan. He was Dylan Cromwell, the one of the three or the two leads. He was
Oh,
the brother of the lead actress
oh, okay.
character.
All right. Uh, so just a couple questions left here. Which has been your favorite character that you have performed? Mine obviously would be Ducky because I grew up with her, but you might have other characters that you performed that you might like better. So what would be your favorite?
I'd have to say, honestly and wholeheartedly, I'm not just saying this because of this interview, but playing Ducky has been such a joy and a delight throughout my life. Getting to come back to that role again and again and see the same people that I've worked with since I was a kid again and again. It's been incredible. I also have to say I played the voice of Mandy on a radio show called Adventures in Odyssey.
I heard that when I was, um, researching you for the interview. I heard that you were in that.
Yeah, and I got to do that for probably about 10 years, maybe more, maybe 15. I don't know. I was pretty young when I started that one as well, and it was the same kind of thing. I got to come in regularly, and it was just really nice to be part of a family like that.
hmm
Where, everybody, you feel really comfortable, and you have a lot of fun, and everybody respects each other, and both of those roles were very special to me. And then I have to say I have a special place in my heart for the first on-screen film I ever did, Santa with Muscles.
Yeah.
This cute little silly kind of Christmas family film, but it was my first movie, and so it was everything to me. I got to work with Mila Kunis and Adam Wiley and
Wow, that's
Hulk Hogan, and the whole set was filled with wrestlers all the time, and
yeah.
so, a little girl, I got picked up quite a bit. It was really fun.
Yeah.
So that was awesome as well.
Sounds a lot of fun. Okay, so for anyone who wants to be an actor, do you have any tips that you would share for anyone, aspiring to be an actor, in Hollywood or whatever? Would you have any like recommendations?
Well, first of all, I get a lot of people saying that they want to be actors, and then I say, well, have you ever tried an acting class, or have you ever been in a play? And a lot of people are like, they say no, and I'm like, well, that'd be a good place to start.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds obvious, but I just because acting definitely seems fun, but there's a lot of work that goes into it. So I would just say, just try it first. Get into an acting class, audition for a play, and then see how you feel. And if you're one of those people that is at that point, you've done a couple plays or you've done some acting in your own town and you want to take it further, I'd say educate yourself as much as possible. I think a lot of people come to LA and they have no idea what they're doing and they fall for a lot of scams.
Yep.
So educate yourself. Ask as many people as you can about their experiences and what's worked for them, and don't pay money to anybody up front to send you on auditions.
Yeah.
Um, get into a good class. Even if you're moving out here, it's always good to be constantly working on your craft and being sharp, because there's a lot of competition.
Oh yeah.
And just figure out what you really want to do. If you see yourself as a comedy person or as a drama or a voiceover, and then focus. I mean, of course, a lot of people do a variety of things, but in Hollywood, it's a lot easier for casting people if they can see you and understand exactly where you'll fit into what projects. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This person is a Kristen Wiig type, or this person is a Denzel Washington, a dramatic actor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get to
Denzel
know
Washington on
yourself
that.
really well, and get to know exactly where you feel like you'll fit in the best, and then go from there, and whoever is listening.
Yeah. Oh, there'll be a lot of people listening. I have some fans on my YouTube, so.
Okay, awesome. You'll learn a lot along the way, and definitely make friends too. Because if you come out to LA or New York or wherever you choose to pursue this, you'll want to have a support system and people that you can lament with about, oh, it's so tough, or I haven't gotten any jobs yet, I haven't gotten, not auditioning enough. People who will be there to support you and keep you motivated.
Yeah. No, that's good advice right there, because my goal is actually to be in Los Angeles in a year, because I'm still in Portland and I've just been doing little things here. You know that TV show Grimm? Have you heard of that
Oh,
TV show
Grimm?
Grimm? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in it, but I was playing a store clerk actually, but the sad part is that they didn't use it in the final cut. So seeing it on screen, I was like, "Where's my part?" They cut it out. So gotta deal
Aww.
with stuff like that.
Do you have
But
lines and everything, I'm assuming? Or
I had like a couple lines. It was more of like a featured kind of extra because I used to be an extra, but I used to be an extra in in other movies I would film around here. But
oh,
they gave me a couple lines. I was like checking out people's groceries. That was the focus of the
yeah.
scene.
Sometimes you gotta like keep in if you can keep in touch with people, and make friends on the set. Sometimes you can still get your material. You can get like the raw footage of your scene or your few lines because it's really good to have that for a possible demo reel or something.
Yeah, yeah. You probably haven't heard of this film, but there's a film called How the Fire Fell, which if you ever get the time, you should, you know, Google it or something. I that was like my first breakout role in an independent film. That's why you probably haven't heard of it. But basically, it was filmed in black and white, and I played a 14-year-old who, well, it takes place in like 18 in the 1800s, and it's based on a true story, and it's kind of creepy, and I just figured I would share that with you if you wanted to check it out sometime on
Yeah,
Google.
definitely.
So I think one of the last things I'll ask, I'm kind of nervous to ask, do you have any information or is there anything you can, spill the beans about the new Land Before Time movie that you were talking about? I had no idea that they were gonna be making anymore because I looked it up and I thought they had stopped making them completely. Like the, I don't know. I just could have swore that they had decided to stop making them.
Yeah, they did stop actually about 6 years ago, maybe. And unfortunately, I really can't say much except,
Yeah,
out and hopefully, Universal will, or NBC Universal, I think, Comcast, NBC, I don't know. One of the
I'm sure it's
mother
okay that you've confirmed it though.
will start to do some releases soon of information. But as far as I know, I have to leave everything up to them as far as what they want to say. So
Yeah,
I'm really sorry about
no,
that.
that's okay. You know those Facebook, I don't know if you're on Facebook a lot, but you know how like the top news on Facebook? I could totally see this like being like on the headlines. Aria Curzon confirms release of new Land Before Time movie. I could
Ah,
totally see this just podcast
confirm
just
nothing.
no confirmations, but I can just totally see it happening if like people heard this podcast and are like, wait, what's she saying? Is she confirming a new movie?
Well, I hope that if and when something like that should happen, that I hope people will be excited about it and hope will be excited to see, you know,
That'd be like a reunion. It sounds like it'd be a big reunion with all the cast grown up and everything.
yeah, yeah,
Depending on if it had the original cast in it or not. I mean, I don't know,
yeah,
because there's so many Littlefoots now. Like, there's like 10 different people who play Littlefoot. I
yeah.
know
I'm
that in the.
pretty sure we can guarantee that it's not going to be the same Littlefoot as last time, since Littlefoots pretty much stop around 13, 14, because once they turn, their voice gets lower, they can't really do Littlefoot anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll just have to wait. I guess the audience will just have to wait and see what happens and when
But keep an eye out.
keep an eye out
Please.
on the news because I've never heard anything about that yet, but I guess they're just keeping it under wraps.
Yeah.
Um,
For now.
yeah, I guess my that's pretty much all the question I have for that interview, but I would like to ask if you would still